And I think a lot of people, Democrats and Republicans, want to know that there is some accountability. But some of the things that he's asking for are unprecedented, really, in terms of keeping a check and balance. He wants to repeal a state law that allows children of undocumented immigrants to get in-state college tuition rates. He wants to ban cities and towns from issuing IDs to undocumented immigrants, require hospitals to actually show how much money they're spending on treating those who have immigrated here illegally. Now, for some people, they think this is necessary. Others might think this is extreme. It's popular. He is very popular in Florida, but do you think he could carry this message nationwide?
He could, certainly to a Republican primary electorate, which I think is his main audience right now. It is assumed he will enter the race in the coming months. And, obviously Republicans, conservatives have a more hawkish position on immigration. So they are more likely to be pleased by these moves. You're right that some of them are controversial. I mean, the in-state tuition rates thing was supported by Republicans at the time in Florida back in 2014. But other things like mandating E-Verify, I think that is broadly popular. I think a lot of Americans don't understand why that is not more widely used as it is, because after all it's doing is asking that employers properly verify that people who they are working for them are entitled to do so. It seems pretty common sense.
I mean, that seems like a standard operating procedure. However, we know that is not always the case. DeSantis is boycotting now MSNBC and NBC following some comments by Andrea Mitchell in an interview with Vice President Harris. Let's listen.
What does Governor Ron DeSantis not know about Black history and the Black experience when he says that slavery and the aftermath of slavery should not be taught to Florida school children?
So this is all because of him wanting to ban or restrict this AP level course on African American studies. But her statement insinuated that he doesn't want any Black history taught versus this specific course. So he demanded an apology. Mitchell responded saying, in my interview with Vice President Harris, I was, quote, imprecise in summarizing Governor DeSantis's position about teaching slavery in schools. Then DeSantis's press secretary tweeted back that the response was a typical non-apology. Does Andrea Mitchell's question show media bias, and should reporters be covering DeSantis and his, rather radical changes to some people, for other people, common sense, differently?
So on the specifics of that point, Andrea Mitchell is wrong and Ron DeSantis is right. He does not prohibit the teaching of slavery in Florida schools. In fact, to the contrary, that topic is mandated in Florida schools. Now, there's a whole separate issue about the point you mentioned about the AP course, which he has restricted, and people of good faith can have differing opinions about that. To me, the Andrea Mitchell thing isn't really only about her specifically. It's unfortunately about this tendency in our media and our culture to cheerlead for one side and demonize the other, regardless of what the facts are. So it's not good enough to say, is this a good position that Ron DeSantis has adopted on an AP course? You have to kind of pump up the outrage with something that's just not true. I think that happens on the left and the right. We don't do it here, I'm proud to say. But it is frustrating how much it permeates the media culture now, I think.
Yeah, we definitely don't do it here at NewsNation. And the fact is, in efforts to maybe perhaps show compassion or to make presumptions, which we shouldn't do as journalists, that pumps up some of the vitriol in ways that were not necessarily intended. Niall Stanage, thank you as always. Great having a conversation with you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.